Hello. I'm doing a video, so thank you for watching. I guess stuff that I was really connecting with this weekend, or this week, and doing all of the readings was specifically this idea of like sympathetic magic, and how I had been pretty bound in this idea of like ancestral connections, and like I definitely talk to my ancestors, like if not on a daily basis, like at least a couple times a week. I also have developed like quite a daily ritual of like lighting candles in my altar and like taking a moment to do some meditation and giving time for kind of questions and answers and a dialogue to unfold and kind of emerge, like what's coming out, what am I wanting to talk about, what am I feeling, how am I feeling, and seeing how those questions and that dialogue is shared with this energy that even 2 years ago I was completely disconnected from. So I think that one thing that really stuck out to me is this idea of like an ancestral security blanket. And I think that especially within the EXA, kind of healing, helping, exploration, relationship, helping people to find those, like what is your ancestral security blanket, and how could we go about finding that, or looking in more of these relational contexts of how did somebody that you knew in your life, or did one of your ancestors have like a talisman or some sort of object that helped them remember where home was and evoke this like deep spiritual sense of like comfort and connection, that I think could be really helpful. And I'm really interested to see if there's experientials or what literature is around that. I guess one of the articles, I want to say it was by the family myth and symbolic realm of the ancestors. Like that's kind of challenging for me. There's quite a bit of like these terms that I was like, I have no clue about any of this, but it was it definitely sparked my interest, and I have like loads of notes of things that I want to kind of wormhole into. So in some ways it was frustrating because I just don't know anything about it, and it was a really slow reading for me, but it also like kind of recalibrated some interests. I definitely feel that I need to hold more space for my ancestors, and I need to start asking a little more of these relational questions and looking at my ancestors past my immediate knowledge base, so my grandparents, I don't know any of them, and I think that I've generally asked either my aunts on either my maternal or paternal side, and then my grandmother, but my grandmother's slipping into dementia, and so she's pretty selective with what she can recall. So I'm actually get to see her this coming week, and I'm really excited to ask her some of these questions and see what comes up for her. And then I think EXA and any sort of healing work needs to be ritualized. Like it has to feel sacred in some way. And I'm using the word sacred as this sense of like deeply honoring and respecting yourself for just showing up in the first place as a client or as a participant. Just showing up requires like you to like acknowledge and respect yourself, and the best way I think to do that is to kind of process it through a ritual, so it doesn't feel like, oh, good for me, and like patting yourself on the back in a kind of shallow way. But yeah, I guess that's what's on my mind. I'm gonna cut it off now, but thank you for listening.